Hey, also today we're going to look at how we can use MathSpace to import data into Excel and then use that data to give parents or students a quick snapshot of where their progress currently is at. So you'll go to grades in the upper right, but instead of going to raw like you do with Drew's tables over here, you're going to go to download table instead. So you'll download it, close this. Usually it shows up right away. You'll download here and it will show up at the bottom, and instead of dragging it like you normally do, you'll actually double click to open it. So now I want to maybe focus in on just one student. So I had this one student who's thinking of doubling up, and I want to see if she's been keeping up and is well prepared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first row and then her name as well. So I want to select both rows. So first I'm going to click on row 1, select everything. So click on the number 1 so that the whole row is selected. And I'm going to hit the control button on the keyboard and I'm going to scroll down to the person whose name's in question. Now, I can use keyboard keys or I can right click now and hit copy. Now I'm going to open a new sheet by clicking this plus sign at the bottom here. And I'm going to go to this first tab here and I'm going to right click and go to paste special. The easiest thing we can do is paste values, and I want to transpose that. And then we can click OK. So now I have a list of everything that I've assigned and her numbers on that. And I can sort it alphabetically, I can sort it in number order, but one of the things I really like to do is to color code. So I'm going to select all the tasks, everything I can see here, and I'm going to go up to the top corner here. Make sure you're under where Excel says home. So if you look here, the home, and there should be an option for conditional formatting. So I usually just go to color scales, and I like the green to red or red to green. I believe that's the one that goes low to high. So I'm going to click on that. And then we're going to go to manage rules so that we can be a little bit more specific. So you could go by percentile. So this is going to, actually this reversed what I want. I want the red to be the lower. So I'm going to change colors and green to be the higher. And right now it's sorting by percentile, but if you wanted to get a better feel because you changed numbers to be something different, you could change it to number. So, and then it'll create a gradient of color based on those numbers. So in algebra, we set the average as a 75. That's really the target we want a good algebra student to be hitting. And if you're a good honors student, I would want you to be hitting a 90. So maybe I make that the maximum, that's the color I want to see in green if you're really an honors student. And minimum depends on what you would want it set to, but I like to set it kind of low at like a 65 because anyone who's really below that point I think is probably not in great shape. So I'm going to click OK and apply, and now I have everything in color. So I can see some of these tasks were things that were assigned over the summer, so she's not showing reference there. Some of these are things that were accidentally assigned, but that for the most part I can see that she has mostly done everything to that honors level, except some of these tests I'm looking at that were things that maybe I didn't assign. So it gives me a quick feedback as to how she's doing. So I could go back and take another student and do the same thing. I'd click on the student, then Control to select both, and I could use Control C to copy as well. I don't have to right click. Go to a sheet, and then right click. Now, instead of going to paste special, if all you're looking to do is transpose, which will change the ordering, instead of going across, the table will go down, you could just paste it from there. So now I have that. And then same thing, I want conditional formatting on this row. So I'm going to go up to conditional formatting, choose my color scales, and I can then go to manage rules, edit rule, and change it to what I want. So I might say, all right, for this girl, she's really struggling. So maybe I just want minimum a 70. So anything below a 70, or maybe even anything below a 60 in red. And then percentile for her, I'm just happy if she hits a 70. And the highest value, anything that she's hitting a 75 on or higher, I'm happy, so I'll make that green. And I can apply, Hit OK. And I can see that even with those changed rules, I've got a lot of red here. So that's a really powerful feedback for that parent, whether I'm using the full 100% or even if I'm just adapting it to where I expect the class to be. I can see the difference visually very quickly between those two students.